a different direction. Orhan did not celebrate when the battle ended. He stood on the high hill and looked at the field below. The ground was covered with broken shields, riderless horses, and wounded men calling for help. Both Turkish and Byzantine soldiers lay under the same sky. Some of the Orhan staff expected him to raise his sword and declare a great victory. He ordered the wheeling that every wounded man they could save. A young Arab asked why should help soldiers who had come to destroy them. Orhan looked at him calmly and answered that justice did not begin after peace. Justice had to exist even in war. If they only show mercy when it was easy, then mercy has no value. His word moved from soldier to soldier. That evening, enemy prisoners received water from many of Orhan's one men sat down to eat. Barsa welcomed the returning army with prayer, tear, and beating drums. Mothers searching the face of the reading, hoping to see their son. Children climbed onto wall and rove to watch the soldier enter the city. Shopkeepers closed their business and stormed in the street. The victory has saved Barsa from a dangerous attack, but every happy people faces a hidden fear. People understood that the imperial would not accept this defect. Fleet has not quickly consistent soldier, weapon, gold, and horror. The imperial could build new ship. He wanted new commander. He would speak of peace while preparing another war. Barsa has won time, but it had not won safety. Orhan understood this better than everyone. While the people celebrated, his eyes remained fixed on the eastern gate. Hasro, another army behind, appeared before the end night. Inside the place, the atmosphere was very difficult. From the street, Nulufar stood near an open window while the voices of celebration reached now from below. She had searched the face of the rider, hoping to see their son. Children climbed into wall and rove to watch the soldier enter the city. As Parka entered the room without guard, she has removed her weapon before coming because she did not want the meeting to look like a challenge. Nulufar did not turn around. She already now he had arrived for survival movement. Neither woman spoke. Their conflict had gone through jealousy, political pressure, fear, and pain. They had both believed that the other wanted to take away her place, but now something greater stormed between them. As Parka had keen Daphne, she had doing it during a moment of danger, when hesitation could have caused more leave. Still, the trust would come be made gentle. A sister was dead, and the woman responsible stood only a few steps away. I will not ask you to forgive me, Asparka said quickly. I will not insult your grief by telling you that you should understand. Nulufar finally looked at her. Her eyes was tired rather than angry. Then why have you come? To tell you that Daphne can finally secret did not die with her. Asparka placed a small metal box on the table. It was blackened by fire and marked with a broken Byzantine seal. She explained that it has been found among Daphne's belongings. The look was imagined, but nobody has opened it yet. Nulufar stared at the box. For a moment she feared what might be inside. Another betrayal could destroy what little pieces remained in her heart. However, ignorance was more dangerous than pain. She called for a servant to bring toll, but Asparka stopping her. The box had been designed to destroy its contact if opened incorrectly. Thin glass containers were hidden inside its wall. If the wrong pieces of metal was moved, oil mounted over the paper and spark won't burn them. Daphne had protected her secret even after that. Nulufar asked how Asparka now it. Asparka answered that such boxes were used by imperial intelligence officers she had seen during her years among Byzantine noble and military officials. Opening it will require patience. More importantly, it will require trust. Nulufar understand that meaning behind her word. Asparka could not open the box alone because the final look had been designed around a personal sign known only to the fact Nulufar might recognize it. Their first true cooperation would begin over the secret of the woman who had divided them. Nulufar of them liked the idea but both understand it important. While the two women examined the box, Orhan entered the concert chamber, leading by Buranse, Avinas, and the senior commander were already waiting, a large mat covering the table. Small stone representatives army, castle, road, rivers and village. The old tribal was changing. In earlier eras, victory could be measured by land, animal and strong words. Now, Orhan's control Barsa city filled with mistake, craftsmen, curtis, mosque, forever merchant and family from different backgrounds. A state could not be led like a small tribe. Every military decision affected trade, every test affected loyalty, every marriage could become an alliance or a rebellion. Orhan had inherited his father's dream, but he could not build the future using only the matter of the past. Laudin pointed toward Iznik. The city remained one of the strongest Byzantine centers in the region. Its walls were difficult to break, its defenders were experienced, and its location gave the emperor over important role. If Iznik remained in Byzantine hands, Bursa would always face danger. Enemy messages moved toward the surrounded lands. Soldiers could gather behind the wall and wait for the right time to strike. Yet attacking Iznik would require a long siege. Thousands of soldiers bound need food, weapons, horses, and winter supplies. A failed attack would weaken Orhan's authority and encourage Rivalry to rise against him. Place his hand on the map and sight the wall where still only stone. Enough brave men could climb any wall. Alauddin disagreed. Courage without planning could fill the ground with mysterious while leaving the enemy untouched. Brown Bey spotted Alauddin. He has spent enough time inside hostile city to understand that strong walls were only the visible part of their defense. Space merchant, peasant, fighting villagers, secret turner, and face information could be more dangerous than arrow. Iznik would not fail because of one heroic attack. It will fail when the city could no longer breathe. Everyone remained silent. Orhan asked for his opinion. Some commanders still look at him with doubt. His past, his former identity, and the association against him had not been forgotten. Although his innocence has been shown their trust more slowly than honor, everyone stepped closer to the map. He explained that the road between Iznik and Constantinople mattered more than the city wall. Grain, medicine, weapons, and fresh soldiers moved along that route. This Orhan controlled the village passes and river crossing. Iznik would become an insula surrounded by land. The defender might have strong wall, but stone could not feed people. Instead of attacking the city immediately, Orhan slowly closed every door. One of the older be objected. He said could a plan would take months or even years. Their enemies would call Orhan weak. Other Turkish rulers might believe that Bursa new Sultan was afraid of a true battle. Orhan listened without anger. He now that pride had destroyed many leaders. They decided to look powerful, often pushing rulers into foolish war. A state could not spend the life of its soldiers simply to silence gossip. Orhan asked Zibi whether he wanted a fast battle or a latest victory. The room became quiet. Zibi lowered his eyes and admitted that latest victory was more important. Orhan's dad revealed second part of his plan. They would allow the emperor to believe that the main Ottoman target was Iznik. Scouts would be sent openly toward the north. Camp would be built where Byzantine spies could see them. Blacksmiths in Bursa would prepare equipment commonly used for crossing wire cross and attacking coastal wall. At the same time, small trusted units will move quickly toward Iznik. They would not attack, they would study well. Roads, farms, storehouses, and local leaders. They would land with village headed. The Byzantine task collector and which commander could be bought. The squad would remain inside its cover until knowledge had opened the road. The messenger intercepted the message. He cried a lesser from Kersi Bey, the destruction of the imperial ship at Kersi Harbour and damaged warehouses, fishing boats, and merchant goods. Kersi Bey demanding payment and an explanation. His letter did not openly threaten war, but its meaning was clear. Orhan had entered land controlling by another ruler and cried out a military operation without punishment, even though the ship belonging to the emperor. The fire had spread through the harbour. Kersi merchants were angry and rebel advisors were telling thereby that Orhan has created their treaty as it won and said Kersi Bey should be thankful if the emperor ship and slide. The same army might later have attacked Karisi. Orhan did not share his announcement. This compliment was fair. He had made a necessary decision, but necessity did not remove responsibility. If he ignored the damage, Karisi could become an enemy. If he bite too much, he would appear weak. If he apologized carelessly, others might demand cold. Whenever Ottoman soldiers crossed their road, the situation required reply that protected about honor and pieces. I had ordered that the damaging fighting board by replace the family of the dead harbor worker be compensated and the burned civilian warehouse be rebuilt. However, he refused to pay for any good belonging to the imperial army. He was invited Karisan Bear to Bursa for direct tell. The investigation will show respect, but it will also place the conversation on ground. Loudin smiled slightly. This was the difference between leader warrior and leading a state. Something a ruler protected the border by sending soldiers. At other time, he protected them by paying a fisherman for a lost boat. Far away from Bursa, a small group of surviving Byzantine soldiers reached abandoned monastery. Their uniforms were torn and many had thrown away their shield during their escape. They expected food and safety in seas. Armed men surrounded them as soon as they entered the courtyard. Their leader bore no clearly military sign. His face was partly covered, and his sword had both Byzantine and Turkish design. He called himself Lone Wanderers. When he had survived the Imperial as an intelligent officer, now he answered to a hidden concern, hidden Constantinople, a group that believed the Empire's current rule was too weak to stop Orhan. Lone questioned the survivors separately. He wanted to know how Orhan had discovered the conflict, how his men had entered the harbor, and which commander had faced. Soldiers who give useful answers receive food. These who tried to hide information were taken away and did not return. Lone was not interested in honor. He studied fear, greed, family ties, and personal weakness. He believed every man had a door inside him. Some door opened with gold, others opened with pain. He was to find the cracked key. One captured soldier told Lone about the merchant from Bursa who had secretly marked supply bearer before the fire. The merchant was called Cancer. He tried lethal salt and lamp oil. Orhan's men believed Cancer and helped them before the soldier had seen him speaking with the imperial officer several days before the attack. Lone became interesting. A man so who sold information to about could be extremely useful. Such men did not need loyalty. They only needed to believe that betrayal was more profitable than honesty. Lone sent one of his agents toward Bursa with a simple order: find Censor, remind them who know his secret, and give him a place near Sultan and Council. At the place, Fatma prepared for a new beginning with Avrina. The relationship has survived like capacity, injury, association, and the anger of people who did not understand them. Yet surviving danger was not the same as building a peaceful life. Fatma had imagined that when everyone was proven innocent, every problem would disappear. Instead, with no difficulty appeared. Some woman in the place whispered that she had chosen a man with enemy blood. Some else believed Avinas had received too much trust too quickly. Others respected him in public but watched him carefully in private. Fatma could fight an open enemy, but whispered judgment was harder to face. Everyone found her in the place garden, cutting dead leaf from the rose plant. He understood that she was angry because she cut every branch more strongly than necessary. He told her that they not need everyone's approval. Fatma answered that he could say this because the whisper were not following him. The woman room, Avina smiled, and the side men were not silent eater. Half of them believed that the way has a Byzantine Sape, while the other half believed he had changed side only because of love. Very few accepted that a man could change because he had seen trust and justice with his one eye. Fatma asked whether he regretted his choices. Everyone looked toward the place while beyond them crushed bell and the call to player could sometimes be heard. On the same morning, Bursa was not a simple place. Old and new world lie beside each other. He said that regret come only when a person did not understand the price before choosing. He had understood he had lost his old rack, old friend, and the safety of belonging to one clear side. But he had gained a purport that was greater than revenge. He had also found Fatma for him. The price had been heavy, but the choices remained right. Their conversation ended with Burhan Bey arrived with order. Everyone was to travel toward Isnik as a part of Orhan's fair comparison. His presence would make the movement look serious because Byzantine scored now his knowledge of coastal defensive. Fatma immediately understood the danger. A full comparison was still filled with real enemy. If the Emperor discovered the deception, he might attack the similar Ottoman forces before Orhan could spot it. Avrinas promised to return, but Fatma did not ask for promise. She had heard too many promises from men heading toward war. She only told him not to become careless because people were calling him a hero. Pride has breed more worry than enemies word. In another part of the place, Naim sat beside Darsan's empty bed. His blood-stained belt has been returned, but no body had been found. Some believe he had fallen into the river. Others said the man has taken him alive. Every uncertain report keep hope alive for one more day. But hope itself had begun to hurt. Naim remembered that their last conversation, Darsan had spoken about the future as if there were something close enough to touch. He has imagined a small home near Bursa, horses in the field, an evening without war. Limes had laughed at him because pieces sounded like a children's story. Now she would have given everything to hear him describe that impossible life again. Malhoun had to enter quietly and sat beside her. She did not offer false comfort. She had lived long enough to know that word could not remove fear. Lime asked whether waiting was more difficult than knowing. Malhoun answered that waiting for the heart to fight to battle at once. One battle prepared for loss, another protected hopes. Neither could defect the other, so the person remained trapped between them. Lime asked what she'd do. Malhoun told her to continue living until Trust's arrival. Grief should not be allowed to make decisions before death has been confirmed. That night, Trust came in unexpected form. A young stable worker found an injured man near Bursa Western Wall. The strongest carried no weapon and his clothes were covered with mud. Before losing conscience, he repeated a Lime name. Guard brought him inside where he woke. He said he had been imprisoned with Darsan in a hidden fort north of Iznik. Darsan would arrive when the man escaped. The criminal reminding spotted him behind him over to Byzantine agent. They believed Darsan now detailed about Orhan's sword messenger and the secret allies. Lime wanted to ride out immediately. Orhan refused. The escaped prisoner could be telling the truth, but she should also has been sent to take a trap. The timing was suspicious. News of Darsan's survival that arrived on the same night. That Orhan began planning movement around Iznik. If behind Lime and the refused forces rushed toward the fort, the enemy might follow them back to hidden Ottoman position. Lime accused Orhan of caring more about strategy than Darsan's life. Her words swayed the room hard. Nobody spoke. Orhan allowed the anger to pass before answering. He remembered Lime that every leader carried name in his heart. Man has been eaten with him, fought beside him, and that following his order, reminding with him, he had not become vulnerable to pain. He had simply lost the freedom to let pain control his decisions. If he sent 50 soldiers into a trap to save one man and all 50 died, their families will ask why Darsan's life has mattered more. Leadership something looked cool because responsibility could not carry in public. Lime recovered her aid, but she did not surrender. She asked for permission to investigate. With only 2 companions, Orhan refuses again. Then Orhan spoke. She said Lime would not, with her permission was given or not, preventing her will not only case her to live without sport. A wise ruler did not confuse obedience with silence. Sometimes loyalty spoke through disagreement. Orhan looked to Malhoun to a Lime and understood that both had already made their decision. He finally allowed a small mission, but Lime would not lead it. Burhan Bey would choose the road, and they would first performance confirm the prisoner's story. Lime agreed through her face showed that she disliked such condition. Orhan told her the courage was not the ability to run toward danger. The courage included the patience to approach danger without giving it as an easy victory. Before then, Nullifer Nasperka finally opened up in metal box. Nullifer had remembered a childhood assembled her sister overdraft. A burst with one broken wing. The same shape was hidden among the marks around the lock. When she pressed it, the filing mechanism released. Asparka carefully removed the inner container before the odd trap could break. Inside were similar letter, a map of Bursa understood water road, and a list of names written partly in Greek and partly in code. The first letter revealed that Daphne had not been working for only one master. She has communicated with Shansha, Byzantine officer, and a group calling itself the Circle of Constantine. The secret organization wanted to Imperial weekend, but it also wanted Orhan state destroyed before it come too powerless. The circle did not believe in protected one ruler. Its member wanted endless conflict because war made them rich. They control weapons, ship, grain, and information. Whenever place comes close, they arrange a betrayal. Whenever one side becomes too strong, they secretly supporting that weaker side. Asparka recognized into name on the list, one belonging to the noble family in Constantinople. The second belonged to a herder who had recently entered Bursa merchant concern. Nullifer read the Turkish drama name beside its answer. He has seen inside the place only a week earlier. He had delivered leather for new saddle and had spoken respectfully about serving the state. Nordgard has considered him dangerous. Mercer moves through gate more easily than soldier because people say profit that rather than treat men may look at them. Nullifer wanted Censor arrested immediately, but Asparka advised patient if he belonged to a larger network. Taking him too early would warn the other. He wanted to discover who meet him, where he sent message, and now deeply the circle has entered Bursa. Nullifer disliked allowing a tractor to work freely, yet she understood the logic. For the first time, she saw why Orhan sometimes carried knowledge without acting at once. A secret could be more useful than a prisoner. The two women brought the other letter to Orhan before sunrise. He read, then twisted, then he called only Alauddin and Buran Bey. Not even the full concern will be informed. If Censor already has someone near the piece, a large investigation will expose itself. Orhan ordered Bran to watch Censor without touching him. Alauddin will study the water map. If the circle now Bursa understand route, they might prison wall enter the city or destroy key foundation. The people above ground were celebrating victory and were there the next war might already be moving beneath their feet. Orhan thanked Nullifer and Asparka for bringing the information together. They were created an uncomfortable silence. Nullifer did not want their cooperation to be mistaken for friendship. Asparka did not expand one useful act to erase the past. Still, Orhan noticed something has changed. Their anger has not disappeared, but it has found a more important decision. Shared danger sometimes was the first breed between people who could not cross so forgiveness. After Asparka left, Nullifer remained behind. She asked Orhan whether he believed Daphne has even truly loved her. Orhan could not answer with certainty. He said a person could love someone and still betray them. Human hearts were not clean battlefield with two clear sides. Fear love beside love. Jealousy could grow inside loyalty. Daphne made her love her sister, but she had allowed ambition and resentment to become stronger than that love. Understanding this does not excuse her choices. It only explains why betrayal often comes from people close enough to know where the deepest world where Nullifer then asked whether Orhan trusted Asparka. He answered honestly, he trusted her courage, her intelligence, and her desire to fight. This is who had used her, but trust was not a simple door that was either open or closed. If he had many rooms, he might trust the person with a sword, but not with a secret. He might trust another person in people, but not in defect. Asparka would be judged by what she continued to do, just and every person in the place was judged. His answer did not confirm Nullifer, but it was fair. She realized that she has wanted Orhan to remove uncertainty from her life, yet rule could not remove uncertainty. They could only make decisions inside it. Nullifer left the room crying about her grief and a new responsibility. She would help uncover Daphne's network, not only for Bursa but also because she needed to understand how her sister has fallen so far without being stopped. Outside the city, Censor received loan message it has hidden inside the handle of a merchant knife. The message contained no greeting, it simply listened 3 days, the name of censored children and the location of his secret goal. Lone wanted him to understand that escape was impossible. The final line ordered censor to enter the place supply office and discover when Orhan's main army marched. Censor burned the message, but his hand continued to shake. He had never seen himself as a traitor. In his one mind, he was a survivor. A earlier Byzantine test collider has taken his fatherland. Later, Turkish leader has stolen his animal. Every ruler has spoke about justice, while men like censor paid the price. He had decided that flag fight and loyalty were tools used to be powerful people. Gold was more honest. Gold never asked him to die for a dream, but now his clever game has become a prisoner. Some side now enough to destroy them. He wanted Bursa with a group of traitors crying again. Brown man watches from the rooftop. They noticed that Censor changed his normal route and stopping near an old bathhouse. He did not meet anyone openly. He openly browed bread, spoke to a burgher and continued walking. The burgher later entered a narrow street and disappointment through a broken doorway. Brown ordered his men not to follow too quickly. A skilled network often sacrificed one agent to discover who had watching patient was their shield. At the same time, Avinash and their unit rode north toward Iznik. They made no effort to hide. Their banners were visible. The Imperial was large and the messenger traveled openly. Because the camp and Byzantine squad observed them from distance, everything suggested preparation for a major northern attack. Avinash even ordered his men to build wooden frame but looked him like part of state over. In reality, the farms were weak and useless. They decided only to be counted by enemy eyes. Fatma has joined the unit despite Avinash's objection. Orhan has not forgotten her because he understood that he was an experienced fighter. He has no traveling as Avinash fight but as a commander of a small shooting game. Their personal relationship will not change the military order during the first evening. Avinash tried to give her extra guard. Fatma refuses and reminding him that showing special treatment will prove every whisper inside the place scared. She did not need protection from the war she had chosen. Their camp was attacked shortly after midnight. A group of Byzantine raiders approaching silently from the forest. But Fatma scored their horses crossing wet ground. The Ottoman soldiers allowed their tractor to come close before frightened hidden fire. Suddenly the darkness disappeared and the Byzantine raiders found themselves surrounded by archers. More surrounded after a short fight, one officer tried to escape but Fatma downed his horses with an arrow. When Avinash questioning the prisoners, they discovered something disturbing. They had not been sent by the Imperial Regular Army. Their commander carried the sign of the Circle of Contestants, the same organization named indefinite letter. The officer refused to speak until Avinash showed that he recognized the sign. Then fear replaced his confidence. He said the circle was preparing a great action in Bursa. The attack near Iznik had not been designed to keep Avinash away from the city. Fatma immediately wanted to return Avinash, stopping her, but they abandoned the force champion. Byzantine scored while Iznik was not the true target. More importantly, the circle wanted them to react quickly. The prisoner might have been ordered to give this information. Fatma hated then curtailing every answer created to new questions. She asked how Orhan carries her doubt every day without losing his mind. Avinash answered that perhaps this was where ruled faster than other men. They sent a coded message to Bursa using two difficult readers. Each reader carried only half of the warning. If one was captured, the message would be unless. Avinash then moved the camp future north, noting the face look even more serious. Sometimes the best response to an enemy plan was not as nothing he has discovered. Near Iznik climb Bran Bay and two trusted air reaches the villain mentioned by the escaped prisoner. They traveled as a family group visit a relative. Lime wear simple clothes and keep her face partly covered. Brown acted like an older merchant who complained about every road and every price. The discuss look ordinary enough to be ignored. That word is a strength. Soldiers searches for weapons, secret sign and nervous behavior. Few paid attention to a tired family arguing over a sick horse. They learned that the hidden force existed, but reaching it would not be easy. Stone nailed as an abandoned stone quickly and was protected by a small Byzantine unit. Prisoners were kept below ground in old storage chamber. Villagers avoided the area because they heard screams at night. A side new man has arrived there 3 days earlier. One of them wore expensive black armor and asked questions about Marsa. Lime believed that the man was known, though he had never heard his name. Brand warned her that they still did not know. With her, Durson remained inside. They needed proof that evening, lying approaching a local woman whose son delivered bread to the fort. The woman was afraid to speak, but Lime noticed a silver button on her dress. It belonging to Durson Court. The woman admitted that a wounded prisoner had given it to her son and asked him to deliver a message to Barsa. The boy has been too frightened to leave the village. The message was only for word. The wounded was still watching. Lime understood immediately. Durson has once called himself a wounded wolf after losing a training fight. It was a private memory, not mnemonic easily now. She has alive. He closes her hand around the butter and fought back tear. Brown reminded her that proof of life did not mean they could rush into the fort. They had forfeited against more than 30 guards. Lime said they did not need to defect every guard. They needed to open one locked door. Burke in Bursa Loudon studied the underground water map sheet. Some tunnels were all Roman structure. But long before the arrival of Ether than Byzantine or the Turk, many had been forgotten or sailed. Daphne Mac show a route leading beneath a storehouses near the place. If any agent entered there, they could reach the main water channel. Loudon ordered workers to inspect the area while pretending to prepare a damaged wall. Inside the tunnel, they found fresh footprints and melted candle wax. Someone has entered recently. Further ahead, they discovered 3 clay containers filled with a dark liquid. Ahil examined a small simple. Inside it make hundreds of people voluntarily seek if pure into drinking water. The circle had prepared to turn Barsa on wall into weapon. No army would need to break the wall. It deceased and panic opened the gate from inside. Orhan covered the container, removed without public attention. The water channel would be guarded, but the guard would dress as worker. He did not want Censor or his partner to know that the plan had failed. The agent must believe that the prisoner remained in place. Orhan interfered to their confidence against them. On the night they come to release the prisoners, Ottoman soldiers would follow them back to every hidden member of the network. Loudon worried about the risk one mistake could contaminate the city water. Orhan agreed, so he ordered the nearby channel immediately and redirectly. Over a small amount of harmless rainwater would remain. The operation required engineer, guarded hurler and the complete secretly. It started their battle had become. There will be no heroic charges, no drum and no shining sword. Their failure will kill people, then open battle. News soon arrived that the Karisi Bey has accepted Orhan's investigation. He will come to Barsa with 200 readers. Some council members fear he planned to pressure Orhan with a show of strength. Orhan allowed only 50 Karisi soldiers inside the city and arranged food for the others outside the wall. He also ordered the damaged wall rebuilt before the meeting. While Tongas were spotted by visible action, Karisi Bey entered the place expected accusers. In Kiri's worker presented a complete record of the harbor damage. Every civilian loss had been counted. Craftsmen from Barsa were already working on replacement board and money had been prepared for the family of workers killed in the fire. Karisi Bey was surprised. He had expected Orhan to deny responsibility or attempt to frighten him. Still, he demanding to know what he has not been informed before the attack. Orhan answered that the Imperial fleet will also have sailed if he had waited for formal permission. Thousands of soldiers were them hesitant behind the Ottoman army. He had chosen the similar harm to prevent a greater disaster. However, he did not claim that necessity made is innocent. A ruler who damaged the property of ordinary people had a duty to repair it. Karisi Bey asked whether Orhan should accept the same answer if another ruler burned ship in the Barsa port. Orhan said he would damage proof that the danger had been real and payment for innocent losses. Saint Board existed in this case. The judgment Karisi adjudged him by the same standard. The direct reply and respect. Their meeting ended without full friendship, but war had been avoided. Before leaving, Rishibek gives Orhan's unexpected information. Byzantine agent has recently tried to buy grain from Korean merchant. The amount was too large for simple normal track. The grain was being sent toward Iznik towards smaller roads. The Imperial was ready, preparing the city for a long siege. Orhan's plan had not remained completely secret. Either the Byzantine has preparated his next move or someone inside Bursa has warned them. After a crazy department, Orhan returned to the map room. He moved a small stone representing grain toward Iznik. Then he looked at sensor name written on definitely. The traitor has not yet entered the classified office, so he could not have run the full plan. That meant another source's assistant, someone with direct access to the concern, has spoken. Suspicion entered the place quietly and refused to arrest everyone who knew about Iznik. Fearful leaders often destroyed their one state while trying to protect it. If lawyer B believed they were contesting Upul Watch, trust will disappear, yet the leak could not be ignored. Orhan decided to give different information to different council members. One will hear that the army will marches after 10 days, another will even 20, a third will be told that the main supply moved toward the southern road. When the enemy reacted, the full detail would reveal its sources. Nullifer suggested using the place woman network as well, servant, healer, cook and cloth sealer. Information ignored by soldier. Men often spoke fairly around women because they believe important politics belong only inside council room. The arrogance made them careless. Nullifer placed trusted women near the kitchen table, guest room and market gate. Asperka contested Greek-speaking families who had remained in Bursa after its capture. Many were loyal to Orhan because he had protected their home and allowed them to continue their work. They could notice foreign agents and similar faces more easily than Turkic guards. Their cooperation remained different. Nullifer sometimes believed Asperka acted too independently. Asperka felt Nullifer respected obedience rather than partnership. Yet each argument now entered with a decision rather than an insult. They were slowly learning that agreement was not necessary for cooperation. Respect could begin when two people accepted that the other said danger that something might miss. Sackers finally entered the place supply office using his merchant connection. He claimed that his little business could provide stronger back for crying gain. The officer responsible for supply showing him several storage area. Unknowing to censor, the officer has been warned. Every document left where he could see it contained false information. When Pay stated that Orhan's army has Bursa in 20 days and travel through the eastern gate has dawned. The evening censor sent the information through the bigger near the bathhouse. Brand men followed the message across for different agents. It passed from the bigger to a fruit seller, from the fruit seller to a traveling monk, and from the monk to a whole dealer outside the city. The whole dealer route north. Brand allowed him to leave before capturing him will end the trail too soon. 2 days later, Ottoman score reporting that Byzantine troop has begun moving toward the eastern road. That full document has worked. Sensor network had delivered the information. However, the movement also relieved something more. The enemy reacted too quickly. A prepared horses that has already been waiting nearby. The circle protective soldier closer to Bursa that everyone then as expected. Orhan ordered the eastern road left open. A small unit would appear to guard it badly. He wanted the hidden fort to believe it could enter Bursa during the army's spotted departure. The trap would be dangerous, but it offered a chance to destroy the circle local fighter in one night. Laudin asks whether civilians should be moved and refuses because a sudden association would expose the plan. Insists guard will never be equal, bomb secretly and protect the familiar from inside. Meanwhile, Lime group prepared to enter the hidden fort. The breed sealer's son explained that guard open a side gate every morning before sunrise. A wagon entered with food and empty barrel returned to the village. Brand plane to the hidden by two feet inside the barrel. Lime well dressed as a village woman assistant and entered with the wagon. The plan depending on silence. One inside they would find us and open the lower gate and escape through the quarry. Before they left, Brand told Lime that they might be forced to withdraw without us, and she stared at him as though he had spoke a betrayal. Brand explained that the interior fort Before they found the prison, staying would only add more captives. A failed issue could still provide information for a second attempt. Lime said he had not crossed half the country to study the war. Braz answered that this was exactly why Orhan has placed him in command. Love could give him a lime strand, but it could also make every risk look acceptable. Their vision reaches the world. While the sky was still dark, the guards were tired and more interested in breed than stranger when checked the barrier but did not reach the false bottom. Lime skips her fate lover, her end felt even though the morning was warm. Every step brought her closer to dust and closer to discovery inside the courtyard. The brave sailor's son created a distraction by dropping a basket. As the guard shouted at him, rock and the apes climbed from the barrier. They moved toward the lower chamber while Lime took a key ring from a sleeping guard. The form seemed strangely quiet. Too many doors stood open. Bram evidently felt that something was wrong. They found their prison chamber empty except for one dead guard. On the wall, someone had drawn the sign of the broken circle. Lorne has expected them. Darcy has been moved. A heavy gear slime shirt behind them. Archer appear above the courtyard. Lorne stepped onto the wall and welcomed Lime to name. His side Darcy has spoken about her often, especially when pain weakened his control. Lime drew her sword, but Bran stopping her from stepping into the open. Lorne explained that he did not want to kill them. He wanted to trade. Darcy would be returned in exchange for definite metal box and every document found inside it. Lime believed this kept prisoner had been part of Lorne's plan. The information about Darcy was true because the backstraps were built around trust. Lorne had known that Lime would come. He had not always Orhan's sent experienced men with him. By capturing them, they hoped to pressure the place. Bran whispered that the quarry tunnel might still be open. One ape threw a clever smoke into the courtyard. Dark smoke recesses blocking the archer view. The group ran toward a narrow passage and arrow tracked the stone around them. Leoman men followed. Lime wanted to search the upper room, but Bran pulled her toward the tunnel. They had been founded Darcy remaining inside. One note changed them. As they entered a passage, a weak voice called Lime name. Darcy was changing behind a wooden gate near the tunnel. Lord has placed him there as the final bite. Limes broke formation and ran toward him. Bran accused them, but they followed. They cut the chain while enemy soldiers entered the passage behind them. Darcy could barely stand. One of the apes lifted him onto his shoulder. The narrow tunnel prevented lone men from using large numbers. Bran fought at the rear while the other escaped. Lime spotted Darcy through the darkness. He tried to speak, but she told him to save his strand. He insists that Lone has a man inside Orhan's council. He has heard the name during questioning. But before he could say that, the tunnel shook. Lone soldier that she fired to spot Bill. Stone began falling from the roof. The group reaching the quarry exit seconds before different part of the passage collapsed. One image last covered in dust and blood. They had saved Darcy, but Lone escaped through another route. During the light toward Bursa, Darcy regained enough strength to explain what he knew. Lone has questioned him about the concerned military road and Orhan's family. When Darcy refused, Lone allowed two men to speak near his cell. As though they believe he was unconscious, they mentioned an agent called the Falcon. The person has attacked in Orhan meeting and held recently warned the circle about Iznik. Bran asked for a real name. Darcy said he never held one. However, the agent used a seal crying to cross arrow. Lime and Bran looked at each other. Similar B used similar symbol, but only one senior commander carried a deals with two crosses arrows. Sangar Bey, the leader responsible for Bursa's southern defensive. Sangar Bey had fought beside Osman for many years. He had been wounded in battle, lost to son, and refused reward for his service. Excusing him without proof could divide the entire army. Some respected Sangar more than they rejected Orhan's younger commander. If the association was false, the circle could use it to create rebellion. Bragg decided that only Orhan would hear the information. The Eastern Road trap began on the same night. Ottoman wagon left Bursa south carrying important military supplies. Censor watched from the market. He sent the final sign by hanging a red cloth outside his warehouse. Beyond the wall, the circle hidden Freedom prepared to move. Orhan remained inside the city with fewer civilians soldiers than the usual. The force weakness had to look real. The enemy entered through an underground water passage shown on definite map. They expected to find prisoner container ready to use. In still silence, Ottoman guard waiting in the darkness. The first group was captured without noise. The second group released the trap and tried to retreat. Orhan's men followed them through the tunnel to a hidden burden building outside Bursa. More circle agents were waiting with weapons, imperial uniform and map of the place. A violent fight began in a narrow room. Censor heard distant signal and understand that the operation has failed. He ran toward the western gate, but Nullifer gate were already visiting. Censor marked by Messi. He sighed, he had only sold small pieces of information and had never wanted civilian harm. Nullifer played definitely before him. His face changed when he said the circle symbol. He admitted that Lone has threatened his family. Nullifer asked with her fear that also forced him to collect gold from both sides of air. Censor has no idea. Orhan ordered his imprisoned but not executed. A drug dealer could reveal nothing. Censor now ruled name, code and hidden meeting place. Fear could now serve Bursa instead of the circle. Some beg, complained the Messi toward traitor encouraged betrayal. Orhan replied that keeping a man alive for information was no mercy. It was a tragic judgment would come after the network was destroyed. Before sunrise, Brian returned with the lime and Durson. Their arrival brought happiness to the place. When the news about the Falcon quickly darkened it, Orhan listened to silence. Censored by has attacked the evening meeting. He also now part of the supply plan, yet he also not the full detail that reaches the Imperial through censor. This made two separate links might exist. Orhan summoned Sanger privately. The old commander entered without fear, some showing the cross arrow sign. He said it had belonging to his family for generations. Anyone could copy it. Orhan asked whether he was communicated with Byzantine officer. Sanger denied it. He then removed his sword and placed it on the floor. If Orhan believed him guilty, he would accept that, but he would not live under secret suspicion. The response made the situation harder, not easier. A trained traitor could perform loyalty perfectly. An innocent veteran could also be destroyed by one false symbol. Orhan refused to make a decision without proof. He removed censor temporary command, but he did not arrest him. They all being faced choices, deep pain. He sighed, losing Orhan trust more than the chain. Then he left the chamber without taking back his sword. Aladdin questioned whether removing Sanger would warn the real agent. Orhan agreed that they might, but leaving him in command was two choices. Every choice created a weakness. Leadership did not offer perfectly road, it only offered road with different cost. Darsan later remembered another detail. One of the lone men had said that the Falcon position come from Mary. No better Sanger Bay had never gained rank through Mary. The cross arrow said might not identify the trailer. It might identify the person the trailer wanted blame. Lone had deliberately allowed Darsan to hear the conversation. The true agent remained hidden. That afternoon, Orhan received a message from Avina. The circle officer captured near Iznik had admitted that Lone was moving toward Iznik. He wanted to straighten the city defensive and create rebellion inside Bursa. Before Orhan said began, the force northern comparison could no longer continue one chain. Orhan ordered Avinas to move closer to Iznik but avoid a full attack. The threat had to remain believable while the main pain advanced. Orhan has gathered his closer family member and commander. He did not reveal every detail. Instead, he spoke about the road ahead. Iznik would be their next great target, but the comparison would not begin with a charge against its wall. They will take the record, even the loyalty of village protected merchant and cut the temporary control piece by piece. No farmer will be punished for selling food. No Christian family would be forced from its home. This struggle was against imperial power, not ordinary people. He warned that the circle would try to turn Muslim against Christian, Turkish against one another, member of his own family into a revolt, an enemy that could not defect their army would attack their trust from that the moment every rubber may be treated like a weapon. Every association could prove every act of danger. Anger would be examined for the hand guided it. Nullifer looked at a sparkle across the chamber, but understood that this is war were made partly for them. Their conflict has already given deafening space to act. If they return to bleed anger, the next chapter will find the same opening. Fatima and empty places in the room reminded Orhan that the family remains separate across dangerous land. Lime sat beside the wanted Darsan, holding his hand while healer worked. Alauddin studied the map. Malhoun watches that all with the eyes of someone who has seen one generation pass its unfinished dream to the next. After the consult, Malhoun found Orhan alone. She saw victory had made the place more frightened than defeat. Everyone now feared losing what they had built. Orhan admitted that ruling Bursa failed, however, than capturing it. When they have lived in tent, danger usually come from outside. Now danger could wear family clothes, speak kindly and eat at the same table. Malhoun reminded him of Usman, his father, and also doubted, suffer and make mistake. People remember great ruler are thought that they always long the correct road. In trust, greatness comes from continue to work while the road remained unclear. Orhan did not need to become Usman again. He needed to protect Usman's purpose by using his mind. That night, Orhan combined the highest honor in Bursa. The city belonged was quiet, lamp burned in hope, guarded post, worship, and prayer to place. Each light represented people who expected him to protect their tomorrow. Beyond the wall, darkness covered the road to Iznik. Alauddin joined him and placed a new map on the stone. Scott had marked this as three villages controlling the western supply route. One village was loyal to the emperor, the second was divided. The third had secretly asked for Osman Ottoman Promomis protection because imperial tax collector had taken their winter grain. This village could become the first places in this struggle. Orhan said they could begin with the third villager. Soldier would believe grain before asking for loyalty. Alauddin understood. A hungry village did not care which ruler spoke the most beautiful word. Justice had to arrive in visible form. Food, safe road, taxes, and honest court open gate that armies could not. Then they discussed on the intelligent officer was difficult from Shahinshah. Shahinshah had been driven by pride and open ambition. Lord prepared shadow. He did not need people to love him. He only needed them to distress each other. Defending him required more than capture one man. They could need to destroy the condition that allow his network to grow. A guard combined it over and delivered a sealed message. It had been found inside Sangar Bay's empty room. The old commander had disappeared from Bursa. His horses was gone, but his guard had seen no departure. On this table, he had left a short statement delaying that he would find the person who has stolen his family sign and returned only with proof of his innocence. Alauddin feared Sangar has run because he was guilty. Orhan was not concerned. A guilty man might escape towards safety. Sangar had taken no gold supplies or loyal soldier. He seemed to be hurting someone. Yet his disappointment created exactly the result the circle wanted. Many may believe that the respected commander has betrayed them. Before Orhan could issue order, a second message arrived. Scott near Iznik had soon a lone hunter crying across shallow frag entered lone camp. The evidence pointed towards Sangar. It was almost too clear. Orhan looked into the darkness beyond Bursa. Somewhere on the roam a hidden enemy defined a secret network, and the mysterious of the Falcon were joining around Iznik. The city was no longer only a military target. It had become the center of the larger game. Alauddin asked whether the champion should be delayed until the trailer were discovered. Orhan rolled up the map. No, he said that it was the expect for morning by the first Ottoman unit quietly left Bursa through a separate gate. They carried no great banner, no drum announced their movement. Some travel as guard protected grain, others move as craftsmen, healer, trader, and shepherd. Their mission was not to attack Iznik, it was not to surround the city with knowledge, alliance, and patience. Orhan watches the final group disappear into the mist and understood that the next battle would not be delayed in a simple day. It would be fought in village, market, tunnel, council room and human heart. The wall of the sneak was strong, but wall could not protect a city from every trust growing outside them. Behind Orhan, the gate of Barsa closed. Ahead of him, the road of Iznik had opened, and somewhere beyond the hill, lone vendors waiting beside a man called Sangar Bay, stolen hill. Turus Orhan's action to the falcon in the shadow. The man crying Sangar Bay crossed arrow seat entered Loin Vardanis camp shortly before then. A man mist covered the valley, hiding the tent from everyone watching from the distant hill. The guard did not stop him. He the elder man told to defect a reader crying that sign. He passed between row of silent soldiers and reached the largest tent at the center of the camp. No imperial banner flew above them. Loin did not want imperial commander to know how much power this circle of contestants has gathered outside Iznik. The organization worked best when everyone believed it was only a rubber. Inside the tent, Loin stood over a table covered with map of Barsa, Iznik, Izmit and the smaller villages between them. Beside the map were letters written in several different codes. Some carried the seal of Byzantine noble, others had the private mark of Turkish merchant and tribal leader. Loans believed that every burden was temporary. Gold, fear and ambition crossed border more easily than army. The reader removed his cloak but kept it facing partly hidden. Loan looked at the cross arrow still hanging from his bed. Did everyone follow you? Loan asked. No one would remember alive. Leon did not smile. He disliked men who tried to impress him with cruelty. Violence is useful only when it produces a result. Killing without purpose created noise, anger and weakness. You entered the camp crying Sangar Bay sign. Leon sighed, but tomorrow Ottoman Shoet will report it. That is what you wanted. It is what I order. This is not always the same thing. The reader placed several papers on the table. They contain detail about the Ottoman movement around Iznik. Small group has already entered the surrounding region. Some were crying grain, others was posting and craftsman, healer and trader. The reader explained that Orhan intended to weaken the city without beginning in open siege. He wanted the village to change sides one by one. Leon read the read quickly. He had expected Orhan to attack quickly. A young ruler tried to prove himself through a great victory. Insist Orhan was tracing patience. This made him more dangerous. Orhan is leaving Leon's side. He is always becoming afraid. The reader replied, he trusts fewer people every day. Leon finally smiled. Fear can destroy a ruler, but only when it grows faster than wisdom. Our task is to feed one and strafe the other. The reader asked with a Sangar Bay had reached the camp. Leoman answered that he had not. The old commander was somewhere in the hill, following first sign and constant written agent. Leon has arranged for him to find enough information to continue the case, but never enough to understand the full plan. The longer Sangar remained missing, the more guilty he would appear. The reader warned that Sangar was experienced. He had survived too many battles to be easily controlled. Leon agreed that was why he did not intend to control him for long. Sangar uselessness would end. Every hour has publicly declared him as a traitor. After that, the old Bikul died while attempting to escape, and everyone would accept the story. The reader turned toward the interiors. Leon, stop it. You have survived inside Barsa for a year, he sighed. Do not begin believing you belong there. The reader body becomes still. Leon continued. People become weak when they confess a rule with their life. You eat with them, you pray with them, you listen to their children love. Such things can create danger, so I remember who I am, then remember why your family still breathes. The warning achieved its purpose. The reader hand written around his cloak. He left without another word. Leon returned to the map. He moved a black stone toward a village called Adir. It controlled one of the smaller roads carrying grain to Iznik. Orhan believed the village had secretly requested Ottoman protection. Leon doubted this because the request itself has been arranged by the circle. Agdir was not truly loyal to either side. His people were angry, anger and frightened. The Byzantine tax collector had taken much of their grain, but Ottoman leader has also passed through the area in earlier years and demanding food. The villagers did not care which ruler controlled Barsa or Constantinople. They care about surviving the coming winter. Leoman has sent a false message to Orhan. Pretending to speak for Agder elder, the request for help would bring Ottoman gain and soldier. Then Leon men were attacked while wearing Byzantine uniform afterward. Another group dispersed as Ottoman as would rise the village. By sunrise, the people would believe that both sides has used them. Confession would spread into every nearby settlement. A village that trusted nobody could not become part of Orhan's peaceful state. In Bassa, the day began with suspicion. News of Sangar Bey disappearance has already reached the Alp. No official announcement has been made, but silence often helps rumors grow. Some cite Sangar had stolen military plan, others claim he had tried to prisoners others. Even stories cite he had escaped with a chest of Byzantine gold, while even nothing he had taken from the room. Ernest guarded the place, guarded not to arrest anyone. For repeating rumor, punishment would only make people believe the hidden story was war. Instead, they gathered the senior commander and told that the trust they could safely be shared. Sangar has left Bursa without permission. Evidence committed his family said to the enemy. But no final judgment has been made until proof was found. Nobody was to call him as a traitor. Civil B objected. They believe uncertainly made Orhan Suk weak. A rule either trust or commander or punish him, leaving the matter unfinished greater fear inside the army. Orhan's answer that justice something required waiting. A far decision might satisfy every man, but satisfaction was not the same as trust. He would not destroy a lifetime of survive because of one seal that could have been copied. One younger bee asked whether Orhan's respect for Sangar was greater than his duty to protect Bursa. Orhan's passion handled by duty is the reason. I will not act blindly. His side ruler can be guessed by planned evidence does not protect his state. He saved his enemy. The concern becomes silence. Laudin has printed stated the first report from the village around Iznik. The southern farm has reported less gain than expected. Imperial officers were taken directly into the city. Family who resisted were punished. Some villagers wanted Ottoman protections, while others feared that helping Orhan would bring Byzantine revenge. Orhan ordered that no village before to assist immediately. Ottoman units were guarded roads from bandits and paid fairly for supply. Any soldier who took food without payment would be punished. He wanted the people to experience the difference between conquest and rule. Kartoki supported the order but warned that kindness could be misunderstanding. Witness might accept Ottoman gain and then inform the Byzantine about their movement. Orhan's agreed justice does not mean foolishness his side. We will help them and we will watch them. Bronze entered that the chamber crying a very small pieces of small found near the underground tunnel used by the circle agent. It comes from an expensive military cloak. The material had been produced in Bursa for only a few senior commander and police officers. The cloth did not prove who had entered the tunnel. It could have been planted Lord Montalter or taken from another person. However, presence showed that no network understand place crossing and access the trailer was either close to the circle or closely connection to someone who was. Orhan's ordered Brand to compare the cloth secretly with the cloak made during the past year. Note Taylor was to knowing every question was being answered. Nulfer listened from the side of the room when the concern adding she asked Brand within woman clothing should also be examined. A man could hide the piece of military cloth inside a servant package or use a female manager to move it through the place. Brand admit that the possibility has not been considered. Nulfer gave the task to a trusted woman named Arkia. She has working in the place laundry scene before Bursa fell. She remembered every repair sleeve, missing button and torn cloak. Soldier rarely noticed her. She would make her more useful than many armed guides. Asparka began a different investigation. She visited Grid family living near the Eastern Market and asked about a stranger entering Bursa. She did not question them as suspect. Instead, she spoke about the danger the circle presenting to everyone, Muslim and Christian. Many families has feared that the Ottoman conflict will destroy their lives. Ottoman has allowed them to keep their home, business and cultures. This did not make every person loyal, but it gave them a person to resist agent who wanted endless war. And or candle marker, remember a man buying glass movement amount of West without asking about pride. The man about Greek with the agent of Constantinople, but where the crowd of a Turkish traveler. He had asked about when the person normal the short-term word Sparka brought the information to nullify. Together they searched record of usable properties and found their possible location when belonging to a dead merchant. One had been damaged during the conquest, the third was officially empty but was received delivery of lamp oil. They decided to inspect it without soldier. A visitor sir would warn everyone watching. Nullifer dress has a merchant window while Sparka wore the clothes of her servant. They travel in a covered car with Akia and two army women hidden beneath folded carpet at the building. Nullifer told the nearby shopkeeper that she was interested in buying the property. Nobody found this usual. Barsa was growing an empty building where vulnerable. The door was locked but Sparka opened it using a thin pieces of metal. Inside discovered the front room. The place appearance usable, however the area empty, faintly of fresh oil. They found a hidden staircase beneath a wooden floor. It led to a small underground chamber containing candle-coded letters, spare clothing, and several Ottoman seals. Some sealed belonging to mineral supply officer. Others were copies of marks used by police messenger. Nullifer understood that the danger immediately. This circle could create false order, redirect food, open gate, or send soldier into trap. Every official message was now uncertain. Sparka noted that one seal was missing for a wooden box. The empty space had the space of the two cross arrows. Hunger base seal had as copy her. The discovery should have helped prove this innocence, but it also created another question. The original seed had been seen entering Leon camp. If the copy version remained missing, someone had taken it recently. He headed full step away, Sparka pushing Nullifer behind a stone pillar while Askia closed the box. Two men entered the chamber. One wore the simple clothes of a city worker. The other wore dressed as an Ottoman guard. The guard stopped when he saw the woman. For a brief moment, nobody moved. Then Sparka attacked. She attacked the guard once before he could draw his sword. Nullifer can a candle stand at the second man. Eka called the hidden woman from the car. The fight was fast and close. The worker tried to escape up the stairs, but one of the women blocked him. The Ottoman guard refused to surrender. He pulled a knife and rushed toward Nullifer. Sparka moved between them and took a cord across her arm before driving him against the wall. The second man was captured alive. The guard died from his wound before he could be questioned. Nullifer entered the building close and watching from outside as blonde man arrived quietly. Sparka wrapped cloth around her injured arm. Nullifer thanked her, but Sparka replied there was no need. You stood between me and a blade, Nullifer sighed. I stood between the blade and Barsa. Nullifer stoned that Sparka was not ready to describe the act as a friendship. Perhaps neither of them was. Still, a life has been protected and their trust could be hidden behind pride. The captured man gave his name as Petro. He claimed to be only a cleaner who had been paid to maintain the building. Brad did not believe him. Petros now how to move without sound and his hand carried a smart for long uses of a boy. They searched him and found a small bone. Pieces carved with similar line. Loudly recognized it as a part of a message system when placed over a page filled with random letters. The opening in the bone revealed the true word. The coded paper from the chamber was taken to the place where message mentioned awkward. Orhan was already prepared to send grain there. The discovery came only hours before they were due to leave. Some advisor wanted to cancel the mission. Orhan refuses cancelling will tell the circle that its safe house had been founded. Instead, he changing the soldier and places circle inside several wagon. The visible guarded would remain small in number. Hidden unit will follow through the forest. He crossed Corner Ave to command the missions. Corner has survived air of danger assignment because he combined courage with patience. He did not speak loudly or seek praise. His enemy often believed he has less danger than he truly was. Orhan warned them that the village request might to be a trap. Connor answered that we will enter with open eyes. Before leaving, Connor asked whether the game still use big deliver if the villager were involved. Yes, Orhan said children do not become guilty because frightened elders make bad choices. The wagon traveled toward enter cloudy sky. Villagers saw them approaching and getting near the road. They facing short belief but also nervousness. The villager elder, a man named Yorgi, welcomed Connor and thanks Orhan for responding. Connor noted that Yorga repeating prepare words. His eyes kept moving toward the tree line. Someone had told him what to say. Knut ordered the grain disturbed immediately. Women and children come from basket. The Ottoman soldier helped carry sack with home. This was not when Leon plans expected. He had believed the grain would remain in the central storehouse, where it could be burned during the attack. By spreading it through the village, Knorr made complete destruction more difficult. As the final wagon was unloaded, Byzantine horns sounded from the hills. Armored soldiers appeared on the western road. Their uniform carried imperial sign. But Cannot noticed that the formation was wrong. Regular Byzantine troops used tighter line. This man moved like hair frightened. Knorr ordered that the visible soldier to retreat toward the village center. The attacker believed they were frightened and chained forward. Hidden Ottoman archers then rushed for a forest and fires into their side. The battle broke into separate fighting between home fences and grain field. Villagers ran for safety. Some believe the Ottoman has brought the attack. Others say Cannot man protected their family. A man of sporting Byzantine soldier reached Yorga house, insisting of attacking Ottoman troops. They tried to kill the village elder. Leon wanted him silenced. Enter after his pass in. His plan was complicated. Cannot reach the first houses. He found the attacker in the doorway while Yorga family escaped through a rear window. When enemy removed his enemy during the fire, leaving the safe hit and small circle marked behind the car, Cannot captured his alive. The remaining attacker withdrew toward the northern hill. Ottoman leader followed but did not go far. Cannot accepted a second trap. After the game, Yoga confused. A stranger has promised that the Emperor will forget the village and protested if they send a request to Orhan. The stranger has said Ottoman soldiers will only be frightened away. Yoga has known now the circle interacting to circle the villager as well. Some else demanding punishment. Connor remembered Orhan's order. He told Yoga that Fear explained his action but did not make it right. The village will remain afterward, yet the game will not be taken back. The decision changing the mood of the people. They had expected anger. Instead, the Ottoman buried both their one death and that village. They treated wounded enemy frightened but kept them chained. An old woman approaching Connor and said that the ruler always promised justice before gaining control. She asked what would happen after reaching field. Connor did not often get word. He said, judge us by what to do when we no longer need to impress you. The woman noted it was not a promise of protection, but it was a honest. In Iznik commander received news that the outdoor operations has failed. He was a member of the circus role. Leon as agent among his officers was loyal to the Byzantine state, but he disturbed the neighbor of Constantinople, demanding that he defend Iznik while standing too little food and too few soldiers. The city wall remained strong, but the public inside were incoming as years. Price has risen. Grain merchant was hidden supply. Soldier agree with citizens as market gate. Christian prayers called for patience, but patient could not feed empty cooking pot. Theodorus smiled Leon to the governor assistant. Leon arrived without apology. You cried out an operation in Agder without informing me. Theodorus sighed. Leon asked around the room has commander. The anger did not matter. I informed this is who needed to know. I commanded this region. You command wall and soldier. I command information. Theodorus told you command nothing inside Iznik without my permission. Leon placed a letter on the table. It carried the seal of a powerful noble in Constantinople. The message gave Leon authority to take any action necessary to stop and advance. Theodorus read it and threw it aside. A noble sitting behind place wall does not understand this city. He understands that losing Iznik was open another road for Orhan. And your answer is to attack village we need for food. Leon replied that loyalty created through will was still loyalty. Theodore disagreed at return village might obey for a day and betray them the next. He wanted soldier grain and fair agreement. Leoman wanted choice. The conversation ended without agreement. As Leon left Theodore's order, one of his trusted captors to allow follow him, he had begun to fear that this circle was not trying to save his neck. It might be using the city as a battlefield for a larger struggle. Outside Versa, Sangar Bey followed a trail into the mountain. He had discovered that his copy seal has been used to be horsey from a small settlement. The wire has climbed to server Sangar directly when the hot ordered. Later, the Sangar was accused of betrayal. He became frightened and disappeared. Sangar found him hiding in a hut. The trader begged for his life and gave a destruction of the buyer. The man was still spoke Turkish fluently and had a scab beneath his right eye. He carried an Ottoman creep but Byzantine reed boat. The trader also remembered something strange. The buyer had knowing the private name of Sangar dad's son. This information shocked the old commander. Very few people know this is childhood name. They had been usually only inside his family and among his closer friends from Usman early champion. The person framing him was not a distant spy. It was someone who had known him for years. Sangar asked where the buyer has gone. The trader pointed toward an abandoned watchtower near the Iznik Road. The old bear rode there alone. Inside the tower, he a sign of recent cooperation. A cold fire, pieces of dire meat, and a stone pad for a military record. The pale listened. The man who has served under Usman during a champion May years earlier. Civilian name were crosses out because the man were dead. One name remained Meg with a small falcon symbol. It belonged to Arslan F. Sangar stared at the man. Arslan had fought behind him in his yacht. He had disappeared during a Byzantine ambush and was believed dead. No body has even been recovered. Arslan had not known the private name of Sangar's son. A movement come from above. Sangar drew his sword as a man drove from the broken stair. He wore dark leather armor and the mask they fought in the inner narrow tower. Their tractor now Sangar's style and protecting many of his moves. Sangar cut the man's shoulder and pulled away part of the mask. A scar can breathe their tracker right eyes. Arslan Sangar sighed. The man froze for only a moment. Then he thought us his Sangar facing escaped through a broken window onto a waiting forces. Sangar followed but the mountain path divided. Arslan disappeared among the trees. The old bee returned to the tower and found a message hidden beneath the military record. It was addressed to Orhan. The message claimed Sangar has agreed to deliver Barsa's southern gate to Leon in exchange for land and gold. The letter was false but the handwriting looked like Sangar. He understood Leon's next step. Copies would be sent to Barsa and his remaining trust would be destroyed. Sangar needed to return quickly but he feared entering the city without proof. Aslam could deny everything. The circle has prepared documents, sale and witness. A ruler could not ignore our evidence because one old commander protested. Sangar decided to capture Arslan alive in Barsa. Fatma and Avrinas returned from the false Iznik campaign. The movement has achieved its purpose. Byzantine commander has shifted soldier north, weakening civil road near Iznik. However, Leon now adheres to direction. The deception could no longer continue. Fatma wanted for to see Darsan Halim. Darsan was weak but recovering. His injury showed how deeply Leon meant has cautioning him. Fatma tried to make him laugh by saying he looked worse. Then after losing a wishless match, Darsan managing a small smile. Halim's has changed in the rescue. Relief had not removed her anger. She wanted Leon found and killed. Every time Darsan walked in pain, her reserve for revenge grew stronger. Fatma understood that feeling but warned her not to let it decide everything. Lime replaced when you now same the evidence has been. Change is and for Fatma did not answer immediately. No, she admitted, I might become worse than you. That is why I am warning you. Their honesty brought them closer. Neither protecting their patient was easy. Evidence reported to Orhan. He described the circle officer captured near Iznit and the Northern Troop movement. He also warned that Constantinople was preparing a new commander to replace the officer blamed for the destroyed fleet. Orhan asked for the commander name. Everyone answered Michael Cantor since the name was known. Also among Byzantine soldiers, Mitchell was young, disciplined, and less proud than many nobles. He studied Turkish warfare and did not underestimate rebel fighters. Unlike Leon, they believed in direct military control. If he arrived near any conflict between the imperial army and the circle might increase audience and emperor. Two people enemy leaders with different goals could weaken each other. Alvinus once again replying on it, men fight over matter and still united against Orhan. Orhan agreed he could watch the decision but not build his strategy around enemy mistake. During the concert, Alvinus noticed one commander avoiding his eye. The man was Turgut former assistant Salman Alps. Salman has served the Ottoman Castle for many years and just recently gained responsibility for Messenger Road. Evidence remembers seeing him once in the Byzantine border camp long ago. After the meeting, he followed Salman into the courtyard. Have we met before? Evidence asked. Salman laughed. You have met hundreds of soldiers. That is not an answer. Salman's expression became colder. Perhaps you see me fighting your people before your change. Everyone watching him carefully. Many Turks have changed Byzantine camp a prisoner's peace on your duration. The memory proved nothing. Still something felt wrong. Salman left before everyone could ask more. Inside the place, laundry Akia prepared the clothes from the tunnel with record of prior clothes. She found 3 possible matches, one cloth belonging to Sangar Bey, the second belonging to a desk employee officer. The third belonged to Salman Ab. Salman has reported his cloth lost 2 months earlier. Akia brought the information to Nulufar. Nulufar did not immediately inform the concern. She remembered Orhan warning about planted evidence. A missing could have been stolen and used to frame Salman. She asked Asparka to learn more about him. Asparka spoke with soldiers who had served near Salman. More described him as dependable, quiet and serious. He rarely drank and never spoke carelessly. That make him a dangerous good officer but a difficult man to understand. One retired app remembered that Salman had once disappeared for 6 months after being captured for Byzantine troops. When he returned, he said he had escaped. Nobody has questioned deeply because he brought useful information about enemy road. Asparka asked whether his enemy was alive. The retired heir said Salman had a wife and a daughter in the village near the coast. They had reportedly died during an imperial raid. Asparka reaching older record and found no proof of their death. These circles often control people through family. Salman became a strong suspect, but Orhan needed proof. Nulufar and Asparka planned a test of all massive will be delivered in Salman's presence, claiming that the copy cross arrow seal had been found in the abandoned Southern building. In reality, the seal was still missing. If Salman served Leon, he might try to move or warn the person trying it. The message was spoken quietly near the stable where Salman inspected messenger horses. He showed no reason that night, however, he left his home and walked toward the old market. Brown men followed from a distance. Small entered a mosque and remembered inside for several meeting minutes. He moved toward a roller door across their narrow street and approaching a pottery shop. A young boy came when carrying a broken bowl. Salman gave him a coin and whispered something. The boy ran toward the eastern gate. Braun followed the boy where another guard watching Salman. The child delivered to broken bowl to a deliver prepared for to leave person. Inside the bowl base was a thin piece of paper. Braun resting the television outside the gate. The message contained only one sentence. The arrow had returned to the hunter. Nobody understood its exact meaning. When confronted, Salman denied sending the message. He said he had paid the boy to carry a personal letter to a cousin. The traveler had changed it. Orhan ordered under guard but not Klein. Salman determined to know with the air of survive mean nothing. Orhan replied that air of survive was the reason he remained alive long enough to answer a question. During the night, Salman asked to speak privately with Orhan. When they meet, Salman fully admit part of the trust. He has been sending messages outside Bursa but not to Leon. His wife and daughter were alive. The Byzantine officer who captured him a year earlier has moved them to Constantinople since. The annoying agent has forced him to provide some pieces of information. He claimed he had never shared better plan or everything that could destroy the state. He gave only messenger number, trade movement, and name of visitor, and anger remained control. Small storm can use build a road for an army his size. Samar lowering his head, he explained that the react message was meant for a contact who promised to bring proof that his daughter still lives. The arrow had returned to the hunter. The copy seal has been recovered by the circle. Orhan asked who carried the seal. Salman did not know. His contact never faces his choice. Orhan now faces another difficult choice. Salman has betrayed information, but they might also lead than a higher agent. Escorting him wound close than road, trusting him could create another trap. Orhan decided to use Orhan's land. Now he sent a new message stating that Orhan planned to inspect their quadrant villager personality in 3 days. Only a small girl willing to accompany him. The information was false. The Leon attacked Ottoman squad will follow his agent. Salman agreed but asked Orhan to save his family if their location was discovered. Orhan gave no easy promise. I will try his side but understand this. You fear for to leave, place thousands at risk. Salman began to cry, though he cried, tired to hide it. Orhan did not confront him. Champion did not remove responsibility. At a did Connor question the captured circle fighter. The man called himself Nikos. He had joined the organization after Imperial soldier killed his brother for refusing military service. Leon had promised him revenge against both the Emperor and the Turk. Nikos explained that the circle people harmed by every side. It gave their pain a new enemy and then used them. Some members wanted the old Empire restored, others wanted noble removed, some wanted gold. They did not share one dream. They share only it. Ignore us about the Falcon. Nikos had heard the name but never seen the person. The Falcon sent information from Bursa using message hidden in player beat. Leon trusted the agent more than any other. Spake no sent this detail to Orhan. The mention of prayer break created new suspicion. Almost every Muslim man carried them. The clue could pointed toward hundreds of people. Darsan remembered something from capacity. During one questioning, Leon has held a set of dark red prayer beads. One bead was made of a silver and marked with a tiny bird. Braun searching the belongings taken from the underground safe houses. Among the coded letters, he found a drawing of a same breed. The Falcon carried them a proof of identity and has ordered no public search. If guarded began checking every set of prayer beads, the Falcon could throw them away. In Seal's nullified range, a place catching 200 soldiers wounded during the recent battle. Commander, messenger, merchant, and tribal representative were attacked. Food will be survived, prayer offer, and gift disturbed. Hidden observer will watching the hand of every man. The gathering filled the place courtyard. Loudly entertained the wounded man with exaggerated story of his victory. He claimed that 10 Byzantine soldiers had been surrounded only after seeing his fame. Bronze corrected him and said they had surrounded because the small of board made fighting impossible. Laughter reduced tension. I has moved among the soldiers, speaking with family and thanking healing. Their calm appearance hid the real purpose of the event. Nullifer wanted from an upper balcony. A sparkle stone near the great guest. Akia moved among servants crying trade. Braun observed the commander. Similar man held prayer bead, not matching the description. The evidence says Salman appeared near a pillar. Salman cried dark bead, but no silver bird marked them. He noticed evidence watching and placed them inside his clothing. Evidence followed him when he left the courtyard. Salman entered an empty stable. Another man was already waiting. It was one of older places, Sakrib's Hassan Effendi. Evidence remained hidden behind a wooden wall. Salman accused Hassan of lying about his daughter. Hassan answered that the girl remained alive only because Salman continued obeying. He then remembered detail about Orhan coming journey south. Salman repeating the false plan exactly as ordered. Hassan gave him a small pieces of cloth belonging to his daughter as proof. When Salman left, Hassan removed prayer bead from beneath the robe. There was dark red when breeze was silver. Awareness entered the stable with his sword drawn. Hassan did not panic. You always were too curious. He sighed. He threw a clay bell onto the floor. Thick smoke filled the stable. Awareness heard a scream and the door break. But the time he reaches the outside yard, Hassan was gone. Guards searches every gate, but nobody saw him leave. He had used an old range passage beneath the stable. The falcon had been inside Orhan's place, not as a commander but as a scribe. Hassan had a tanker concern meeting to record decision. He knew every order, every disagreement, and every military plan because he cried things rather than a sword. Nobody had fettered him. His room contained no letter or goal. Everything had been removed. However, Laudin found a hidden mark behind a sheep. The name Arslan Hassan Alfandi and Arslan Alps were connected. Salman was brought before Orhan again. Hassan has controlled him for years. Hassan claimed to work for Byzantine intelligence but never mentioned the circle Hassan Orhan whenever Hassan was truly his name. Salman did not know about examined old record. Hassan as the anti-Ottoman survived early 15 earlier after escaping from a controlling town. His background had been confirmed by two witnesses. When were now dead, the more they searched, the less real Hassan became. I had received the circle had placed him near the family long before Barsa was concerned. That was not a recent operation. Someone has protected Usman's small frontier state. Could become powerful then and had prepared for the future. That discovery disturbed Laudin if mean their enemies had understood their rise before many Turkish bears did. Orhan said differently, they prepared for us because they feared when we would become his side. Now we will show them. Their fear was current. Hassan escaped creating urgency. He now Salman had been exposed. He also knit the shortened journey well properly a trap. Leon has changing his plan. Orhan decided to move earlier than announced. Before sunrise, he filled Barsa with a small trusted group including Alauddin Burhan, Avinas Fatma, and officially he remained inside the place. A guard of smaller height were no crowing during public appearance from a distance. Their destination was not the Khotran village. They rode toward Akdir and the village. Orhan wanted to meet the villager personality and used the area as a first permanent Ottoman position near Iznik. A small fort would be built to protect the grain road. From there they could control movement toward the city. The journey remains secret but Leon learned about it within hours. Hassan reaches his camp through a hidden road and reporting everything. Leon was angry that his falcon identity has been revealed. Hassan believes Salman's weakness. Leon replied then the skilled handler should expect weakness and control it. Hakan removed his robe and revealed that the body of a tailor fighter beneath the clothing. The quiet strip and that been another role. He has been Arslan, but they have been survived together. Leon is working on has now about Arslan, not yet Hassan's side, but Sangar does. Leon ordered Hassan to find Sangar before he returned to Barsa. Arslan would help. The two former Ottoman Alps had different reasons for serving this circle. Hassan had been truly believed in Osman's dream. He had joined as a young man before the border offered opportunity. When Byzantine soldiers captured him, he traded information for survival. Over time, betrayal became his profession. Arslan's story was more complicated. It had believed deeply in Usman during the ambush where they disappeared. He waited for issue that never came. Byzantine torturer broke his body. When the circus slowly changing his mind, they saw him that commander had continued fighting instead of saving him. They concerned him. He had been sacrificed for a dream that valued land more than people. His pain became hatred. Leon understand that bounded loyalty could become stronger hatred than simple greed. Near the vast over Sangar found Arslan's next trail. It led toward an old cemetery where fallen soldiers from both sides have been buried after the forgotten battles. Now wanted beside a broke stone. This time he won no more. Sangar dismounted but keep his sword ready. A search for you Sangar side for months. Arslan fair showing no warmth. You searches until the best battle gave you something more important. We believe you, Dad. You wanted to believe it. A dead friend asked for nothing. Sangar stepped closer. Aslan drank his sword. They fought among the graves. Their movement carries memory of training together, each knowing the other's strength. Sangar was older but more difficult. Aslan moved with anger, attacking without pause. Sangar managed to disarm him. Instead of killing him, they placed his sword against Aslan's throat and asking him to return or Barsa. He promised Orhan would hear the story. Aslan laughed. You still believe justice wait inside places. Before Sangar could answer, an arrow attacked his shoulder. Hassan stood on the hill with similar circle frightened. Aslan picked up his sword. Sangar pulled the arrow free and moved behind a stone. He was surrounded. Hassan called him a traitor loudly, knowing nearby sharp heat might hear. If Sangar body water found beside circle fritter, his scene could be shaped into any story. Sangar fought toward his horses. Another narrow attack struck his. He nearly fell, but managing to mount and ride down the eastern slope. Arslan followed the case, continued throwing narrow forest past. Sangar cloth covered his cloth. He horses slow. He reaches a river and release escape was impossible. He turned to face Aslan. Kill me if that is what remains of you. Sangar sighed, but look at me when you do it. Aslan raised his sword for a moment. His hand shook. Sangar says all pride beneath the anger. Hassan arrived beneath them and fired another arrow. The time and as Sangar hurt Aslan more sternly, his sword attacked the narrow away. Hassan stared at him. Aslan seemed surprised by his one action. Sangar used the moment to push his horses into a river. The current carried them downstream. Circle fit and fire arrow, but tree blocked their view. Hassan turned on Arslan. You let me escape. Arslan answered, I want him to understand why he does. Died. Leon man earthing the river but found no body. Sangar rival by holding on to a fallen branch. Hour later, villager from Agdar found them unserious near the bank. They carried him to Knorr camp. When Orhan arrived that evening, he found Sangar alive but close to death. The old beef walked briefly and spoke Arslan's name. He explained that Arslan has used his seal and that Hassan survived with him before losing consequence. He gave Orhan the military record. From the watchtower, Orhan finally understood the shape of the betrayer. Hassan had been the falcon inside Barsa. Aslan has entered Leon camps carrying Sangar's seal. Together they has built the false evidence. Orhan's publicly cleared Sangar's name before the soldier at Agdar. He sent Idar to Barsa with the trust. Their soundment mattered because Ramar has already damaged the old commander's honor. Stored beside Sangar's bed and the promise to agree with him again once he recovered. The old boy opened one eye and whispered, that voice must kill me because the wanted did. The man laughed quickly. Orhan then met Agdir elder. He did not damage immediately loyalty. He explained that an Ottoman fort will be nearby by protecting the road. Local farmers will be paid for wood and labor. Taxes will not be collected until the next harvest. Because the village has already lost too much grain, Yorga asked whether the church would remain open. Orhan's answer, yes, everything. Elder asked whether their young men would be forced into the army. Orhan's side no family will be forced to stand son immediately. This is who close to survive will be pride and trained. The elder agreed. The Ottoman protection, the first road toward Iznit, has changed hand without the destruction of it village. From the hill, Byzantine squad watching Ottoman worker began building the comfort. Commander Theodorus received the news with concern. Agreed permission allow others to stop great traveling from the sword. He ordered soldiers to strain the nearby post, Leon demanding an immediate attack before the fort was complicated. Theodorus received the village now sporting Orhan. An attack would push other statesmen toward the Ottoman. Leon accusing of him weakness. Theodorus replied, you have failed in Agdid, lost your agent in Barsa and explored your falcon. Do not speak to me about weakness. Leon's eyes become cold. The two men were close to open conflict. At the moment of announcing the arrival of a new imperial army, Mr. entered Iznik with nearby 1,000 soldiers. His armor was simple and his rode at the front rather than beneath a protected banner. The people gathered along the street, hoping his arrival meant food and safety. Mikkel met Theodorus and Leon inside the governor resistant. He cried order from Constantinople, giving him authority over army authority operation near Iznik. Leon presented his separate novel letter. Michael read it and placed it in a candle flame. Leon watches the seal burn. Your secret concern does not command Imperial soldier. Michael sighed. Leoman replied that the Michael did not understand the force he protected the Empire. I understand enough. Michael sighed. You create fire and then seal water. Theodorus hid his satisfaction. For the first time, someone with equal authority had challenged Leoman openly. However, Michael's arrival was made the city more dangerous for Orhan. He immediately the chain guard schedule arrested merchant hidden grain and sent cavalry to inspect weak road. He did not wait for perfect information. He straightened what he could. Michael also issued a public message to the village. Any settlement supporting Orhan's world imperial protection. Any village remaining loyal will receive grain from Iznik's store. The promise created doubt around Ignis. Some villagers wondered whether they had chosen to earlier. Others feared an imperial attack and responded differently. He did not return. Villagers remained with until he sent healer to a settlement suffering from fever even though its elder had refused Ottoman protections, allowing us with her helping a loyal Byzantine village wasted limited medicines. Orhan answered disease does not crying a flag. The people will remember who treated them as a woman being. Michael added about the healer understood Orhan's strategy. The Ottoman ruler was not only surrounded Iznik with soldiers, he was surrounded it with comparison. Every fair action made imperial bossy more visible. Michael ordered his soldiers to pay for supply and pushing two men catches stealing chicken. He would not show Orhan to own the language of justice. The struggle around Iznik became more complex. It was no longer only sword against sword. Both rulers tried to prove they offer a better future. Leon hated this peaceful competition, awakened this circle. He needed blood. He smarted Hassan and Arslan. The next task was to murder a rejected Christian priest in the village near Agder. While leaving evidence the Ottoman elf had done it. At the same time, another agent would kill a Muslim teacher inside Byzantine authority and blame imperial soldiers. The death will create anger on both sides. Villagers will stop trusting promise of justice. Arslan accepted the order without speaking. Hassan ordered his restoration. Hassan his sake with her, saying anger life has changed him. Arslan denied saving him. He claimed he wanted Sagar to suffer longer. Hassan did not believe him. Pain has controlled Arslan for years, but saying Salpur face to face has opened an old part of him. The friend has blamed her scheduled searches for him. Sagar had offered to take him back alive. The sister did not raise torture or abandonment, but they weakened the story Leon has built inside him. Agdor Sagar slowly recovered. He speaks to without Orhan alone. The all be admit that Arslan Association continues some trust after the ambush a year earlier. Sagar has wanted to continue searching. Usman has ordering the unit to move become a larger enemy forces was approaching. Sagar obeying their return later but found no survivor. Sagar has accepted Arslan that because leadership requires movement, yet part of him has always wanted with her he could had more. Orhan's side guild was useful only when it threw responsibility. If it became a chain, the enemy could pull it forever. Sagar asked whether Arslan could still return. Orhan did not know. A man who has killed innocent must answer for what he did. Orhan sighed, but answering is not the same as being denied every door back. Sagar asked for permission to find him again, refusing until his wound healing. Sagar agreed that Arslan might not wait. Orhan answered that survivor quickly. Outside the tent, Fatima trained village women to short bows. She did not expect them to become soldiers in days. She wanted them able to defect home. If the men were away, Avinash helped organize patrols. Some villagers remained uncomfortable around him because they knew he had once survived Byzantine. Others trusted him more because he spoke their language and understood their custom. A young Christian farmer asked why Avinash has changed side. Avinash's side did not change because one person people become good and another change become evil. A change because the side which leader was building order and which leader were feeding on fear. The farmer asked whether Orhan could remain just after becoming stronger. Avinash replied that no ruler should be trusted. without being watching while I fight advisor and the people. Reality did not require blindness. The answer prized the farmer. He had expected pride, not actions. Happiness understood that a state becomes stronger when people now justice was a duty, not as a gift for one perfect man in person who referred to control of the investigation into Hassan heirs. Inside the place, he wanted to know every message he had copied and every person he had influenced. Eka found that Hassan often volunteered to record meetings involving marriage, alliance, implied road, and dispute among Bay. He had not become only collecting military information, he had studied personal weakness. Similar past conflict now look different. A disagreement between two commanders has begun after it received an insulting annoying months later. Merchant rebellion has started when fault has other appear. A terrible marriage has failed become a private secret become public. Hassan had been wakening trust for air. Nulufar felt angered at herself for air noticing him. He had stood quietly in room while powerful people looked past him, a sparkle reminding him that the invisibility had made his weapon. Blame should be directed at the man who used it, not everyone he deceived. Nulufar answered, if we learn nothing that we deserve is to be deceived again. She created a new rule, no single script, record and interior concern meeting. Sensitive decision would be divided and final order using changing seals. Messenger could carry only the part of information necessary for their task, allowing approval the changing but wanted then too much clarity could slow government officer needed clear instruction. Nullified agreed the system had to protect information without making every servant feel suspended. This was difficult. Security bold without trust become another prison. Salman remained under guard. He provided the location of 4 massive pointed, but Hassan has already abandoned them. Salman asked daily once everyone has found his family. Finally, one of the Sparka contesting Upul sent a report. A woman matching his wife's name had died years earlier from illness. His daughter has survived and worked inside the home of a noble connected to the circle. Salman collapsed when he heard about his wife. Orhan allowed him to time to grieve, then asking when he still wishing to help. Salman said he had nothing except his daughter and the chain to crack some of the harm he caused. Orhan sent him with the force merchant group traveling toward Constantinople. His task was to connect the noble servant and find the girl's happiness. Wonder Salman might escape. Orhan revealed that the keeping him client were revealed nothing about which her regret was real. Fatma disagreed with the risk. Salman had betrayed them for air. Orhan asked with heaviness will also have been denying every change because of his past. Fatma became quiet. The companion was uncomfortable but fair. At the newly built Akdir fort, a messenger arrived from a fever-stricken Byzantine village. The elder Orhan had been allowed inside, but Imperial soldiers now refused to let them leave. Commander Michael wanted to question them about Ottoman movement, demanding a receive force allowed in advance, sending a formal request first. An immediate attack could destroy the carefully made Orhan has built. Orhan side Mikkel of changing message stated that Hitler wanted no peace and must be returned. It only was heard the Ottoman state would consider it an attack on people protected by its magners. Mikkel received the letter and questioning the Hitler personality. He found no maps, code or military message. They had treated Christian family without approaching for demanding loyalty. Theodorism's advice releasing them. Leon wanted them escorted as peace. That could create the conflict he needed. Macron released them. He also sent a message to her saying that the future Hitler entering imperial territory must require permission. Orhan accepted the return but rejected the idea that ruler owned the right to care sick people. Their exchange showing mutual strength without open war. Leon's become more disappear. He often died the plane murder carried out immediately. Hassan traveling toward the Christian village disagrees as an Ottoman Alps. Aslan went toward a small Muslim school inside Byzantine authority wearing imperial armor before they separated. Leon gave Moutman intentional intentions, leave no survivor who said their rule first. Aslan rode toward the right at the school. He found an elder teacher reading beside a lamp. Three orphans boys slip into the next door. Killing the teacher would be easy. Killing the children would prevent business. Arsan venting with his sword run. The teacher looked at the imperial armor and understood the danger. He did not back. Instead, he asked Arslan to let the children leave. The request awakening a memory earlier when Arslan was a young prisoner. Another captive has given him young water and taken a beating for it. The circle has showed him that kindness was awakening you to control foolish men, yet he had never forgotten that water. Arslan lowered it slightly. The teacher said hesitation and sighed. A man is not only the voice older be obeyed. Aslan felt returned. He heard reader outside. Hassan had sent additional circle men to ensure the task was complicated. Aslan made a sudden decision. He cut a teacher bond, pushes him toward the back door and told him to take the children into the forest. The circle leader entered movement later. Aslan climbed the target had escaped. The leader did not believe him. A fight began inside the school. Aslan killed two men and fled after the teacher. He had openly betrayed the circle at the Christian villager. Hassan complicated his task. He killed the priestess and two witnesses, leaving Ottoman arrow beside the body. Then he set fire to a nearby home to create panic. The villager found the priest at sunrise. Anger spread immediately. A survivor had seen men wearing Ottoman clothing. Nobody knew the survivor was. Another circle agent placed there to tell the story. News reaching Agder by midday. Christian villagers gathered near the Ottoman fort demanding justice. Such carriers forming tall as weapon as much than outside the gate without a large guard. The villager accused his help of murder. Orhan did not deny the possibility. He said that everyone surviving him who killed an innocent person faced punishment. However, he asked for time to inspect the evidence. A grieving man shouted that Ula always rejected time until become weak. Orhan answered, then keep your anger. I said only that you not get another man. I'm it for you. He went to the village personality at the murder scene. Everyone examined the arrow. The appearance Ottoman, but the future was tired using by a Byzantine military ignored. Most people will not notice. Hassan has created the arrow using Ottoman hill and Byzantine construction. A child also reported seeing on one killer remove his glove. A dark bird has been marked on his sword. A circle sign. Orhan showed the evidence to the villagers. Some expected it, others believed he had invested at exclusive. Then the missing teacher arrived with the three children and Arslan. Ottoman soldiers immediately drew their weapons. Anger still weak. Still forward from a wagon, he has insisted on joining after hearing Aslan's side be nearby. The two old friends forces each other. Aslan dropping his sword, he confusing that Leon has ordered him about murder. He had refusing his part. But Hassan had killed the priest. He offered to lead Orhan to one of the circle hidden bases. Civil Vigilar wanted Hassan killed immediately. He admitted surviving the organization and helping friends anger. His change of heart did not erase his crime. Orhan ordered his change. Sargar objected only to healing two of his mount. Orhan said Arslan would receive treatment and a fair judgment, but first he would profit investigation information. Arslan looked at Sangar. I do not ask forgiveness. Sangar replied, good, I am not ready to give it. There was pain between them, but also the first honest word in years. Arslan revealed that Leon man implied stored in an abandoned underground monastery base of Iznik. Weapon, discussed gold and record were stored there. Hassan would likely return after the murder. Orhan said an opportunity to destroy a local circle network and capture the Falcon. He prepared an attack from the first night. Michael also learned about the monastery from one his court. He had begun investigating Leon independently. The squad reporting armed men entering the run without imperial uniform. Michael decided to write the location. Either side now the other was coming. Shortly after midnight, Ottoman elves entering the western tunnel while Michael's soldier approaching from the east. Hassan arrived minutes earlier and warned Leon that Arslan had betrayed them. Leon recorded order all record burn and prepared to escape through a northern passage. Then fighting began outside. Ottoman helped meet imperial soldiers inside a monastery central chamber. It believed the other protected the circle. Squad were down before Orhan and Mikkel say each other across the burning room for one danger movement. A full battle seemed curtain. Leon Urkel fired from the upper level at Bout group. Orhan understood first they are attacking us. Bout, he shouted. Mikkel reaches the same conclusion. He ordered his soldier upward. Ottoman and Byzantine fighter fought separately but against the same hidden enemy. Arrow smoke and filling wood hit the chamber, complained loudly that even secret enemy should build after hit. Sword Hassan tried to escape carrying a box of coded record. Nullifer had asked Brown to bring him alive if possible. Every nose chases him through the northern tunnel. Hassan know the passage and nearly escaped, but Fatma blocked the outer seals. He turned back and found Evidence behind him. You look sad for love, Hassan mocked. Evidence answered a chain because man love you, shown onward loyalty without justice become. They fought. Hassan was killed but tired. Abner disarmed him. Fatma struck him when he reached for a hidden knife. Hassan fell and consequently escaped through a narrow water channel before Orhan's smell could reach him. The fire destroyed part of the monastery, but many records were saved. They contain names of circle legends across Bursa, Iznik, Crete and Constantinople. Michael demanding the document, claiming they had been found inside Byzantine territory. Orhan refusing his soldiers capture Hassan and reaches the record first. The two rulers face each other in the round chamber. Michael sighed, they remain enemies. Orhan agreed, but tonight. Orhan said, did our enemy wanted bout of first blind? Michael looked at the dead circle fitter. He allowed Orhan to take Hassan and half the document. Michael kept the remaining record. Neither trusted the overt enough to share everything, but leaving Michael want Orhan to stop moving toward Iznik. Orhan replied, then stop giving it people reason to open the gate, separated without peace but also without a battle. But sunrise the circle major local base had been destroyed. Hassan that the falcon who had lived inside Bursa for years was finally a prisoner. Leon remaining free inside his sneak, watching smoke rising from the monastery and understand that his control was awakening. Michael had challenged him. Arslan had betrayed him. Hassan has been captured. Village was beginning to compare Ottoman justice with imperial fear. Leon has projected one final weapon. He opened a sealed letter taken from Constantinople. It contained order concerning Nullifer's Spark and Orhan children. The circle had agent closer to the family than anyone yet understood. Leon called a young woman into the room. She wore the clothing of a place servant from Bursa. He gave her a small bottle of clear liquid and whispered the name of her target. The woman hid the bottle inside her sleeve. By evening she entered Marcel's caravan, traveling toward Bursa. Agdir, Orhan stood beside the infinite fort and looked toward the sneak distance wall. One enemy network has been demanding, but the city remaining strong. Michael had brought discipline. Leon remained hidden that the village was divided and winter would come before long, allowing us where they have moved closer to victory. Orhan's watches worker life anything stone into place. We have moved closer to the true battle, he sighed. Behind them, Hassan opened his eye inside a guarded wagon. He smiled when he heard the wheel toward Bursa. The falcon has been captured, but before leaving the monastery, he has seen Leon servant ride south. And he knew that the next attack will not be aimed at Orhan's army, it will be aimed at his home. Clues Orhan Section 3 Prisoner inside the place. The merchant caravan reaches Bursa shortly after sunset. Its wagon carries sealed dye fruit, glass lamp and spoons, and similar sealed boxes from the coast. The guard at the check the paper carefully because Orhan has ordered strongly security. After Hassan betrayal, every merchant had to give a name, place to birth and reason for entering the city. The young woman carrying Leon prisoner stored into the final wagon with her lead lover. She called herself Leni and claimed to be a servant of a wealthy cloth-trader. Her paper appeared real because they had been created using one of the sealed copies in the circle hidden chamber. The guard asked why he had no longer family name. Leni answered that servant was not always given the honor of using one. Her voice sounded tired and frightened. The guard has seen many young women traveling with merchants and nothing about her seemed dangerous. She wore simple clothing, carrying no visible weapon and held a small religious symbol around her neck. After surging her back, the guard around her to enter. The prisoner entered hidden inside the wooden handle of her airbrush. Lini had not been erased as the accident. Her father had once on a smile from near evening. Imperious shoulder looked the land when he failed to pay a new task. Her mother during the winter that allowed Lini survive by working in wealthy homes. Years later, Leon found her after she stole food from a normal family. Instead of punishing her, she offered protection, training, and a purpose. Leon showed her that the powerful family created every form of suffering. His side ruler spoke about justice, while children survive outside their gate. He showed her example of presenting cruelty and Ottoman violence. He never allowed her to see kindness without presenting it as a track. Slowly, her anger became a weapon into his hand. Her target was not Orhan. Leon has ordered her to prisoner Malhun Hatun. He believed killing Orhan's mother would damage the family more deeply than attacking the commander. Malhun was a bridge between Usman's old generation and Orhan's new state. She cried respect among tribe, women, soldier and village elder. Her death inside Bursa will create question no army could answer. People would blame Mulifer Sparka, Byzantine servant, jealous way or even Orhan himself. Every Romer would weaken trust. Lini followed the caravan to the market quarter. She waited until the merchant began uploading the wagon. The clarity disappeared into a narrow street. A woman named Martha met her a public fountain. Martha worked in the place kitchen and had survived the circle for several years. Unlike Hassan, she did not know the organization's full purpose. She believed she was passing information to people protecting Christian family from Ottoman control. Marta lived Lini through the servant interest the following warning. She told the place officer that Lini was her niece and has come to help. Because several kitchen workers were ill, the officer checked to the written permission. It carried the mark of a trusted supply officer. The officer had never written it. The copy seal opened another door inside the place. Lini was given simple duties. She cleaned vegetables, carried water and helped prepare bread. Nobody trusted new servant near private rooms, so Leon plan required patience. Lini needed to become ordinary before he could become invisible. She studied the place carefully. Malhun had to act with the family during important meals, but often look a smaller morning meal alone. Her favorite drink was warm milk with honey and a small amount of cinnamon. Marta has already learned this from her kitchen staff. The clear prisoner was had no smell when mixed with honey. It would awaken the heart slowly. Malhun might because its several horses later, making the care difficult to identify. Lini wanted to smell her from a distance. On her second day, she expected to see a proud woman surrounded by servants. Instead, Malhun stood between several windows. This is 100. Had died in the recent fighting. She asked each woman about money, food, children and housing. She remembered the name of one young boy and arranging for him to become trading with a place craftsman. Lini told herself the scene was designed to build loyalty. Leon was warned her the princess. Experienced ruler performed kindness as carefully as actor performed stories. Still, something about Mehan's attention disturbed her. The old woman did not appear to be performing for an audience. Only a few servants were present. No commander watching, no waiter recording the meaning. Lini pushes the doubt away. Kaina did not raid the system that had taken her family land. Her and Malhun belonging to another ruling family. Their people would eventually become likely one empire before them and acted and prepared to return to Bursa. The destruction of the monastery had damaged Leon's local network. But the capture record continuing to many names to study in the field. Hassan may also needed to be questioning where guarded script and witness could record every word. Michael has returned to Isnik with his half of the document. Neither he nor Orhan fully understood the information they processed the circle has used difficult code for difficult regions. Some names were real, others belonging to dead people. Survivor later accusing innocent commander of crime. Leon has filled the record with enough false information to make careless investigators destroy their one Alice. Before leaving acted enhancement the village elder again. Construction of the fort could continue under corner apps. A small market would be created beside it, allowing farmers to still gain safety. No merchant would pay to test it on the same road. Ottoman patrol would protect the trailer from both bandits and dishonest soldier. Yorga asked what could happen in Makers and a large forces. Knorr answered that the fold could resist a small attack but not a complete army. Orhan did not hide the trust. If Michael come with all his soldiers, we may lose the stone his side, but we will not lose the place if we keep our word. The elder exchanged uncertain look and continued, a fort can be rebuilt, trust cannot. This was the heart of this champion. Every military mattered, but no simple position was worth destroying. The justice he wanted to establish. If the Ottoman soldier forces agreed to fight before its people was ready, the village might become another person's. Orhan needed cooperation, not only control. Sangar Bey remained too weak to ride. Her was stay under Knorr protection until his wound healing. Aslan was only left at Agdir, client helped treating by healer. Sangar has asked to remain near him. Their unfinished history could not be solved inside one conversation. Arslan sat beneath a tree with guard nearby. He wanted Ottoman worker building the fort beside Christian visitor. Men who had recently feared each other now lifted the same wooden beams. Leon had always described such cooperation as temporary and phase. He said people from different faith and tribe could live together only until fear returned. Aslan wanted with her. Leon has stretched him trust or simply repeating the same prison until doubt become impossible. Sangar approaching that this using a wooden stick for sport. You should be a bad. Aslan said you should be dead. Sangar answered, yet have we bowed. Aslan looked away. Sangar sat on a stone opposite him. For similar movement they watching the worker eye away. Usman Orgar Sangar side. We left the valley before more enemy soldier was coming. Arslan expression handle. You left me. We returned. After how long? 2 days. Arslan left it bitterly. 2 days can become a lifeline. Enter the land or hand of man who how to excuse pain. Sangar expected the anger. He did not defect himself again. Afraid you were dead. He sighed that belief allowed me to continue and now I continue while you suffered. Arslan looked at him. Sangar's voice carried no performance. He was not asking forgiveness. He was admitting the part of the child that belonging to him. Arslan said Leon had rescued him from the prison. Sangar replied he rescued from body too. He curved one wound. The wound struck deeply. Arslan put against his chain. You know nothing about what happened. Then tell me. Aslan did not answer. Sangar remained still. He now some door opened only after long silence. On the road to Barsa, Hassan traveled inside a guarded wagon. His hands and feet were chained separately. Brown Bey sat opposite him. Two apes rode on each other side of the wagon, while evidence followed behind. Hassan prepared climb. His forces no longer carried the quiet experience of the place. Sakri without links, stained robe and lowered eyes, he looked at one another. The world man who had recorded and described for years has never existed. If he been a mask worn by someone trained to disappear in plain sight, Brown asked why he has served this circle. Hassan smiled. Do not smile. Ask because you want trust or become silence make you uncomfortable. Brown did not react. Hassan continued. Every man needs a story that makes his action feel clean. Your story is wealthy, your story is survivor, and his story is justified, and my story challenged one sexy. One understood that Hassan would not respond to anger. He wanted to create doubt, not explain himself. You live among us for 15 years. Brown's side was none of it real. Hassan looked through the small opening in the wagon. Reality it whenever pieces. People continue believing. Broad love forward. You act with men who trusted you. You see children grow. You copy the final word of drying air for their families. Hassan's eyes changed slightly. Brown noticed perhaps more, some memories still reaching him. Hassan answered, a butcher can feed a dog before healing sleep. Some kindness does not change his work. Brown questioned, asking him. Hassan has prepared answer for direct attack. The deeper trust will require another matter. During the second evening of the journey, the group camped near a stream. Other Orhan's Hassan checked twins. The prisoner was placed inside a small tent with 4 guards. No fire burned close enough for him to use. Shortly after midnight, Hassan began capturing voluntary. A guard entering and found him struggling to breathe from appearing near his mouth. The guard called a wheeler. The wheeler examined him and believed Hassan as fellow prison hidden inside the truth. His beaten weakening, Orhan's was a weakening. Hassan appeared close to death, branch under the chain removed so the healer could work properly. As soon as one had become free, Hassan grabbed the wheeler knife and pulled him close. He cut through the tent wall and ran into the darkness. The illness had been forced. Hassan has been him turned to create blood and used tire soap hidden beneath his fingernail to create foam branch. Follow immediately Hassan darted toward the stream, where two horses stock tired and arrows struck the ground near his foot. Fatima appeared on the opposite side with her bow raised. Hassan changed direction. Evidence broke to the forest part. The prisoner stopped. He was surrounded well from behind a tree, still holding a piece of bread. I said he would protect to die, announcing proudly. Branch started at him. You said he won't turn into a snake. Almost the same thing. The guard chained Hassan again, this time placed metal around his neck and wrist. Orhan did not finish the wheeling or the guard will have removed the chain. Hassan has used their duty to protect life against them. However, Orhan changed the rules. From that point, any medical treatment would happen with the prisoner secured to a hidden frame. Hassan looked at with investigation, smiled. The quiet scream, never like me. Nobody loves you, Boran sighed. Yet everyone needs me. Even Orhan allowed himself a brief smile. The failed escape has revealed something useful. Hassan still failed, reaching Barca live. This means the interrogations or the record process are real threat. Is Snake Michael studied the document taken from the monastic commander. Theodorus sat beside him while two trusted scribes worked on the court. Leon had disappeared from the city after the riot. Some believe he had returned to Constantinople. Michael now battled Leon would not leave while he still has agents and influences in the region. One document lists a great merchant who has secretly sold supply to both sides. Anything described weakness in his wealth. Carter contained detail about Michael's family. Michael read the final paper twice. It mentioned his younger brother, Edris, who served in Constantinople. According to the document, Edris had received money from the circle and helped arrange Michael's appointment. If true, Michael won't come and might be part of flowing plans, and Doris advised caution the record could be false. Michael agreed, but the doubt remained. Leon's trust power did not come from knowing every secret. It came from creating documents that made every secret possible. Michael ordered the information look away. He could not rest. Everyone proof was found. Theodorus upset that Orhan had made a similar decision regularly, September. Michael looked displaced by the prison. Do not mistake caution for admiration, he said. Theodorus answer, understanding and empty did not require admiration. Michael moved toward the window below. Soldiers trained in the courtyard. Civilians waited near gates door. The city was strong, but its strength depended on weakness. Agder had already changed side. Other villager was watching. He needed to stop Orhan's slow advance without turning every armor into an Ottoman spotter. Michael decided to send representatives to the same villager. They would offer over tested protection and gain. She could fight Orhan forces using order rather than punishment. This strategy angered civil Byzantine noble inside Iznik. They believed fear was necessary. Loving Tassi would make the emperor look weak. Michael ignored them. Pride could not feed the city. Leon heard about the decision through an agent in the governor house. He understood that Michael was becoming a second Optals. The circle needed the Ottoman and Byzantine to remain true enough to create endless war. If both Orhan and Michael complicated through justice, villagers must gain power over their rule. Leon prepared a new plan. He could make Michael believe Orhan intended to investigate him. At the same time, he would make Orhan believe Michael and order the attack on Malhon, one that could create two wars. When Orhan reaching Barca, the city welcomed him quietly. There was no public celebration because the champion remained unfinished. The captured Hassan entered through a side gate before sunrise. Only a small number of trusted Offer now he had returned. Nullifer met Orhan inside the place courtyard. Some reported that no one circle agent has been found, but similar copies still remained missing. Security has improved, yet every improvement created new difficulty. Full deliver way slower. Merchant complete. About survival searching. Servant feared that they might be at school because of one mistake. Orhan listened carefully. Stayed under contact. Fear could become cruel without noticing. They needed protection, but they also needed normal life. He ordered the gate guarded to keep searching caravans. While treating traveler with respect, complaint would be recorded. Any guest using the new rule to demand money were lost its permission position. Ulfa had told him about Malhoun work with the window. Orhan smiled. His mother often solved problems before the concern learned the excited. Malhoun entered soon after and impressed her son. He asked about the champion Sangar Agdir and the prisoner Arslan. Orhan gave honest answer but did not mention how tried to feel. Orhan noticed anyway you carry your father's silence. When you are troubled, she sighed. Orhan answered, my father's silence frightened people. You make them think you have already judged them. He understood that the warning leader who hid every thought created fear among local advisors has promised to remember it. Eleni watches the reunion from behind a kitchen doorway. She said Malhoun praised her and on Orhan's face is like any mother-daughter created a son. For a moment the Sultan disappeared. He became only a tired man returning home. Eleni felt the first true weakening in her purpose. Leon had described Malhoun at the heart of a growing empire. Killing her won't damage the enemy, but the woman before Eleni was also a mother, window and protector of other window. Eleni remembered her one mother warning meal during cold nights. She returned away before everything noticed her staying. Marta later told her that the next morning after the best opportunity, Malhoun would meet several women in the small garden room. Her milk and honey will be prepared in the private kitchen. Eleni could replace the honey battle. The prisoner could act slowly. Malhoun wanted to finish the meeting before becoming ill. Eleni nodded. She had trained for his movements. Still her arm felt cold. Hassan interrogation beneath the place in a guarded stone chamber. Orhan refused to use torture at first. Pain often produced whenever answered the questioner answered wanted to fear. Hassan has survived harsher treatment before breaking. His body would not necessarily open his mind, allowed him place several recovered documents on the table. Hassan looked at them without interest. Orhan asked whether the name were real. Some Hassan answered which, the one you trust least. Orhan ignored the game. He showed Hassan the copy seal box and the copy bond PC. Then he placed Salman's confession beside them. Hassan asked whether Salman's daughter has been found. Orhan did not answer. Hassan smiled. Do he still believe you can save her? You use it firmly. I found uses it hope. Hope is easier to control than fear. Orhan stopping closer. You believe every good thing is a weakening. I believe every feeling becomes weakening when another man understands it. Orhan replied, the Leon understand you. Hassan's smile faded. It was a small reaction, but everyone say it. Orhan continued, he now what you fear, he now what that you want. He sent you after into Bursa for 15 years when he remained hidden. You call yourself free because you betray everyone, yet we have survived one master longer than most soldiers. Hassan eyes had Alauddin understand Orhan's method. They would not ask Hassan to betray Leon. They show him that beholding being used. Hassan answered, Leon gave me purpose. No, Orhan sighed. He gave you a mask and concerned you. There was no fear beneath it. The first interrogation entered without information, yet Hassan left the chamber ingredient. Then he entered. The anger was processed, gone searching Hassan all room again. This time Eka joined him. She understand how servant in personal atom in places soldier ignored behind a lossy pieces of wood near the washing area. She found a small serve horses. The object looked harmless. Inside it was a founded pieces of cloth with the child named Yusuf. Records show not child connected to Hassan. Eka can also found all marked into the wood. They pressure hide like a parent's marking a growing child. Hassan has claimed to have no real life. Inside Barsa, the room suggested otherwise. Brown questioned other servant when remembered that the Hassan has cared for an Orhan. boy many years earlier. The jailed life in the place for a short period, then disappeared during a disease outbreak. Everyone believed he had died. Everything servants said the boy had not died. A family noble had taken him to Constantinople for treatment. The noble family was connected to the circle. Hassan had the son or at least a child he loved at once.